Hello, I'm back again for another video. This time I'll be reviewing High on Life, which is a DLC for High on Life. It's based on the character Knifey that you get, and I think it's in the second level of the game. The first one being like that, like the opening moment of the game when you're like on planet Earth, and then when you travel to the city, and then you go like underground and stuff. You get the knife there. So I kind of count it as the second level, but some people might count as the first one. But that's where you get the bro Knifey. He has a really funny accent and stuff. He's Australian, obviously. The bro's an Aussie. Oh, he's so funny, yeah. When you first get him, he's so funny. He talks so much. He adds like so much personality to the game. But sadly, that's it. Like he's only in the first level. I would say like you still have him, but he barely talks like at all. It's like they ran out of money to give us voice actor more lines and stuff. So it was like really sad, like seeing him not be focused when the main game. But he gets like his own whole like DLC, and they did like a really great job with him on this DLC. But it's not all like positive. There's a bit of negative here and there. So on this review, I'll go with the good, the bad, and my overall opinion about this DLC. A big puzzle for this DLC was the story, just like the game, like the main game. The writing was excellent. Honestly, I even liked it more than the main game because in the main game, sometimes the character they just keep yapping and they don't stop, and you're just like waiting for them to like stop talking. The pacing is kind of like all over the place for the main game. Thankfully, the DLC doesn't have the same problem. I think it's probably because like budget reasons. They didn't have like unlimited budget. They probably had like a set amount of budget for this DLC because it's like a short length DLCs. I think it's like 3 or 4 hours long, which is again a good thing. I'm glad they had to like restrain themselves on the writing. So when people do talk, it is more meaningful. I would say it is like more funny. There's a lot more like hits rather than like misses when they're telling jokes and stuff, which I really like. And again, Knifey being the main kind of like the main character of this DLC helped it so much. I love like how impatient he is. So when you're doing like side quests and stuff, like when you're like kind of going off like the main path, he starts like commenting on it and he kind of starts getting pissed off on you. And it's so funny. I love that. So again, the story, a big plus. Knifey, another big plus. He's like a really great character. And the characters that you do meet in this DLC are also like I would say way better than the main game. Even the villain, I would say the villain is way more interesting. The main bad villain, rather than like compared to the main game. The main game, like I would say you spend more time with him and the cutscenes and stuff. But when the fight happens, it ends so fast. Like you barely spend time with him. But like the main boss, for this DLC, like she talks so much and stuff in a really good way, and like it helps her like kind of build her like character and her personality and stuff. So I really like the writing for this DLC. That's a big plus. So if you like that about the main game, again, I think you're gonna totally love this DLC. Another big plus for me was the gameplay. Just like the main game, I'd say even the combat was better. I didn't really gel with the combat for the main game because of the enemy variety and stuff. There's way more. I think it's the same amount of enemies that you get in the main campaign, maybe a bit less. It's because it's like a short length DLC that you don't really get sick of the enemy types and stuff. They are like reskin, but like I would say a bit of special moves here and there. Like they do a bit like different moves, but they are like reskin. If you pay attention, then we can tell like they easily reskin. But they did like a really good job of kind of hiding it and then like blending it. I would say you also get like a new weapon, a new gun. Basically, it kind of like shoots balls. So when you keep like shooting it repeatedly, first of all it like bounces off like enemies and stuff, so it's like extremely satisfying and fun. And then when you keep like shooting the gun, the ball it kind of like heats up and then it like explodes, so it does like a big damage, and that's like really fun. But it also helps with platforming and kind of like puzzle solving as well in the same vein. They're like kind of holes and stuff, I'd say, in the ground, or like for the puzzles they're like holes and stuff. You kind of have to shoot the ball and into them, and it kind of like solves the puzzles and stuff. And it also like helps with the platforming. It's kind of like holes were in the ground and stuff that like there's like smoke coming out of them, and when you shoot the ball inside them, the platforming sections, they kind of start like putting out gas like really fast, and that like helps you to levitate like in the air like longer and stuff, so that helps you with like your platforming. It's really fun. I liked it. I wish it was like a bit more utilized. I think it is if you do more like side quests, when the main if you do just like the main story, I think it's like only 3 or 4 sections that like it's used like that kind of platforming. So I wish there was a bit more. The main boss of this DLC, like I've said, she's like extremely fun. She told like clowns on like all the other bosses from the main game, because she's like way more challenging and in a really good way. I was having so much fun. Even now that I'm talking about it, I'm like thinking back to it, and it's like low-key getting me excited, honestly. She was so much fun to fight. I don't want to like spoil her like too much, so I'm not gonna talk about her too much. But again, you guys are really gonna love the main big like boss of this DLC. She was like so much fun. She had like platforming sections, and then like there was like shooting sections. Yeah, like dodger. It was like really fast, but you had to be precise as well. Again, I don't want to get too much into it, but she was like really fun. As for the negative, there isn't like any big one. The only minor one that I could think of is it's the price. When the DLC released, it was like $15 US for like 3 hours of gameplay, 3 of like 4 hours of gameplay. It's just like really short and expensive. So if you're like tight on money and stuff, I would say wait for like a sale to get this DLC. I don't recommend like getting it full price. The DLC came out in 2023, I think. So it was like kind of like 2.5, like 3 years old. So it might be cheaper now. So I'll say like just be cautious before like buying the DLC if you're like kind of tight on money. But the amounts that it does provide, like the amount of hours, it is totally worth the money, I would say, because it's way less repetitive compared to like the main campaign, and it's really fun. The only downside, another downside I would say, is like Kenny, like the main gun, the pistol, and the first gun that you get in the game isn't in this DLC because the voice actor he kind of got in trouble himself with his wife, and he got like sued, so they've like fired him. So I don't even know if he's gonna be in the second game. But yeah, he's not in this game. So if Kenny's like your favorite character, he was my favorite character as well. But I got used to using the green gun, kind of like the shotgun one. So he kind of became like my favorite character in this DLC. And then again, because Knife is like the main character, it doesn't really impact your experience too much. But still, if you do love Kenny, I'm pretty sure that's his name. You're probably not gonna love this DLC because he's just not in here. He's replaced by this other gun. It's like a female one. I don't really use her too much. Not only because the gun was weak, but she didn't really stand out her personality and stuff. So yeah, I guess that's like the two negatives that I could like say about this DLC. It'd be the price and then Kenny not being in the DLC. So yeah, that's it for this review. It's an extremely fun DLC that I recommend. Like everyone that's like checked out the main game, check this DLC out because it's really fun. It's totally worth your time. The price is like a bit expensive, so I'll say like wait on sale to get it. But if you're not having like any money problem stuff, I would say like totally go for it. That's totally like worth the price. Again, cause it's not like repetitive like the main game. The combat is also like way fun compare like the main game because you kind of like start out with like all your guns basically. The only one missing is like Kenny and Let's Do It. I do get why they took out Let's Do It. That gun's like extremely powerful, but other than that you have like 1, 2, 3, 4, you have like basically 5 guns starting out basically. So the combat is like it has like variety from the start and it's like fun. The gameplay with its like new platforming sections and stuff, the story being way more, I'd say, impactful and punchy with like its jokes and stuff rather than like missing. That's like another big plus. And I didn't really talk about the environment too much, but the environment's like another big plus. I totally forgot to talk about the environment. You can like slide through the game now, especially in this planet. So instead of walking everywhere, you can just like slide in like a really fast-paced way. There's like small animals and stuff. You can like hit them, and then like it speeds up your momentum even more. So it becomes like really crazy and fun. So that's like another big plus. Again, the DLC is like really fun, and I'll totally recommend it. But yeah, that's it for this review. Thank you for watching this video. Leaving a like, comment, subscribing mean the world. I'll see you guys next time with another video.